Hey guys. Nay Daily is becoming a lot more like Nay Weekly at the moment, and I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. Life is busy. Speech contest is the big thing. It's taking up all my time. I'm not spending a lot of time outside of school. I've spent probably an hour after school each day this week. Fortunately, I've been going to my semi-based school, the school that I'm focusing on for speech contest, every day this week so far. So, I have been able to give a little bit more time to speech contest, but if I finish school at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, it takes me an hour to get home. So it's 6 o'clock by the time I get home, and then I've got to cook not only dinner, but also lunch for the next day, and then get organised and get ready for the next day of school and go have a shower and all that crap. The necessary, unnecessary stuff, I like to call it. I have a little bit of a sniffle. I hope I'm not getting cold. Anyway, today I just thought I'd do a quick update on my day-to-day. Just some things that I made mental note of. The first thing this morning, actually, I was asked to look at a piece of writing that the brass band were actually going to put on the back of their shirts. All in English. It was okay. It was perfect English. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it. But it didn't sound very good. Like, you know, it's the normal English sort of, like, happy music crap. Makes you want to put a bullet in your head. So I just put some more sophisticated English in there and made it pretty. I don't have it with me right now, and I really don't feel like getting up off my bed to go and get it and read it to you. So maybe tomorrow, or whenever I get time to do another vlog, I will get it and read it to you. The next thing is my classes today. I was actually teaching with my favourite all-time teacher. My semi-based school, Hokkaido, is becoming pretty much a home to me now after a year. It's taken a while, but I've gotten there. There's third and second year teachers are just adorable. I love them. But the second year teacher, she's a bit younger. She's more on my level. Speaks really good English, so we can sort of like have a joke and whatnot. So it's really good. And her lessons are always fun. We never do textbook lessons, and if we do the textbook lessons, we don't use the textbook. We do fun activities and stuff. And so, like I said to her today, teaching with her is fun because the lessons don't feel like lessons. I don't feel like I'm teaching because we're having so much fun and the kids are laughing and having a good time. And I think that's a sign of a really good teacher, not only just in Japan, but in the world, like back home. If the kids are having fun, if you're having fun, and it doesn't feel like you're teaching and the kids don't feel like they're actually like pushing themselves to learn, like they're just learning instinctively and almost tricking them into learning, you know? I think that's a successful teacher. Someone who has the students' rapport and, can really get along with them and be down that level with them. I just think it's fantastic. And then this afternoon, I have an observation class next week, which means, one of the big boys, I call them, my bosses from the centre, will come and observe, I don't know if it's just my lesson, but lessons being conducted in the school at the time. And so usually the ALT is invited to go along to these days and teach the English lesson. So I'm teaching that, but the sensei that I was teaching with was really scared about his English skills and was like, I don't know if I can communicate with Renee about the lesson plan, even though I've done this lesson, the directions lesson out of Eigo Noto, book 2, even though I've already done it before, like countless times, and it's one of my favourite lessons in the whole book. He still felt he couldn't communicate with me what he wanted to do, even though every other time he does. So, my poor junior high school my poor junior high school teacher, my favourite one once again, said that he could come to the school and we would have a 3-person discussion about it so she could translate for him. And I mean, I understood everything he said in Japanese, which was amazing. I wouldn't have been able to do that this time last year, even though I still rate my listening higher than any of my other senses in Japanese. But, yeah, he just, downplayed his English skills whatsoever. And he doesn't have a lot of English skills, but we get by. But, I mean, it was so funny. Because we get in he actually drove into the bus stop later because I was running late and I needed to get to a bus on time. So he drove me down the bus stop, and in the car on the way to the bus stop, he's like, we stop at a traffic light, and he's like, so I hear you were an English teacher in Australia. I was like, didn't we just have a meeting with one of my other teachers because you couldn't speak English? And he's having this it wasn't a full conversation. I mean, it was one sentence, and he understood what he was saying. But I mean, it was flawless. I was just like, oh my gosh. So I think Japanese people are very much like me, in a way. I play down my skills a lot. I know a lot more Japanese than I actually let on. I'm not a confident speaker of Japanese, so my poor teachers have to struggle. But I understand a lot more, like I said. And that was the last thing today. Catching the bus home, I had to catch the 5:05 or the 5:30. I can't remember which one it was. 5:35, I think. Anyway, the first time ever in Japan, I actually fell asleep on the bus, standing up. I never sleep on public transport. I just can't do it. Back home in Australia, no, I don't sleep on public transport. But I fell asleep leaning up against a pole on the bus this afternoon. It was raining. I mean, it's been raining for the past week now. And it was a lovely 17 degrees, and I just fell asleep on the bus. Standing up. Everyone does it. So I felt I really earned my Japanese citizen status right there. Falling asleep awake. Falling asleep on the bus standing up. See, I'm really Japanese now. My English is getting screwed. And also on the bus at the same time, there was a, we stopped at a traffic light and someone was knocking on the door. And I've never seen this before, but the bus driver actually had a microphone that sent his voice out onto the outside of the bus, telling the fella to, step away from the bus and whatnot. I thought it was really cool. I don't know why, but it was just my little, culture shock still. Even a year in, I'm still discovering things about Japan. They still wow me every time. But I love it. Anyway, that's it. 8 minutes. Wow. Anyway, guys, have a good night. And thank you to those people that are watching me. I actually had a new subscriber. I don't know if it was a new subscriber, but I got a lot of new comments from someone yesterday, and I was really happy to read them, and I'm going to reply to them right after this. If you want to comment, please comment down below in the doobly-doo, as it's being so called by a few YouTubers I watch, so I might call it that too. Follow the trend. Subscribe to me up here, and I mean, I'm not the most exciting channel, but hey, if you want to get on the JET program, you want to know what the JET program's all about, listen to the daily vlogs, and I mean, you find out what an average life is, and little hints and tips along the way. You never know. Okay guys, have a good night. Bye. Subscribe, comment. Bye. Peace.